Okay, I'm gonna have to start this video with a disclaimer, and I'm sorry for the non-Sen fans here, but as I'm sure you're all aware, the Sen fans, some of them are quite delusional, and some of them, the more deluded of those delusional base, are probably not gonna love this video. The reason for that is, I would love to make a video like this guy did, where he's just all sunshine and rainbows about Sentinels and aren't they the best thing in the world. The thing is, he made his video about their game versus Gen G, which is probably Sen's best performance of this tournament. I didn't make a video about that game because I was at a wedding that day, so didn't make a video about Sen's best performance. Today we're going to take a look at Sen's performance against Fnatic. And whilst there were a lot of good from Sentinels, and we will obviously talk a lot about the good, it wasn't all good. And I just want to briefly show you and hope that the more deluded amongst you come with me on this journey. Come back to reality, use your eyes, believe in the truth of what you are seeing, and you'll see that Sen have one particular trait that really won them this game against Fnatic. Now to start off, I'm going to show you a really good round from Sentinels, so that I can contrast it with what you're going to see later on in this video. Okay, so we're going to take a look at their defensive pistol round on Lotus here, right? And this is the map we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on Lotus, but for the rest of it, we're going to take a look at their attack half, because that obviously had the full 12 rounds. And on paper, that looks like a really good half from Sentinels. They won 8-4, as you can see there at the top right now, and they actually lost the pistol round as well, right? So 8-4 at half after losing the pistol is really good, right? Really, really, really strong. But we'll show you how they actually got there. Maybe wasn't as strong overall. But this round, their defensive pistol round, right? They start off over towards A, and Fnatic actually did send out a smoke here and a fade horn, and they're going for like what looks like a bit of a kind of trap play on A, right? Looking maybe to pinch on these guys in here, hoping that they'll find someone there. Unfortunately for them, Fnatic, they go to the other side of the map. Right, they're coming over towards C, so Sen, they get the wrong read, and we're going to see a retake on C from Sentinels. And the way that they play this round is, perfectly fine. They're just staying in their trap, right, hoping that Sen, that someone will come here to them. Whether it's one guy, that's fine, right? We'll kill this one guy and play a 5v4. Unfortunately for them, no one is there, and John just has to back out of C. And in fact, if you actually look at the map here when the spike goes down, so, Boaster is planning the spike now, and the spike goes down at this point, look at the map, Sen are still really, really far away. Right, they are really, really far away. So it takes them a long time here, to get all the way back into a position to do this retake. But now from this point, this is going to be an excellent retake from Sentinels.
The Prowler goes towards CT. That gets at least a slight connection. They now know that they're getting towards this 3 through Waterfall, 2 through CT. It's Saucy to start it off. Taken down Hero, and Durka now blinded. Put to the corner and dealt with by Second. Another step taken. The HP dwindling. Sentinels, this could be the first nail in the Fnatic coffin. Oh, and it's just flawless.
So everything about this retake, and I mean literally everything about this retake, is amazing. Right, the spacing, the util usage, the aim, the coordination of the team, it's all really, really good. Really, really good, right? From just even like little details like that, right? Jump peeking to get on the first angle there. Sassy then with some incredible classic aim, just absolutely takes Hero's head off just here. Then we're going to see the Omen Flash come in here on Zekken. And you're going to see that Fnatic actually counter it themselves with their own Omen Flash. Look at our timing and our coordination on this swing here, right? Durka is just dead. I mean, he actually dies here to Zekken on his left-hand side, but either way, he's dead, right? And then just, I mean, again, I'll show you the map here. Just watch the coordination of everyone here. Right, look at them all. Look at this, like a little pack of ants, right? Just literal no chance, right? Like you could not draw it up any better than that, pretty much, on a pistol round retake 5v5 on C Lotus. Like really, really amazing stuff from Sentinels. But now I want you to contrast that. That's a really, really good round, right? Keep that in your mind for what we're about to see, because you'll see most of these rounds don't look like that. So let me show you what I'm on about, and let's come to their attack side, and let's start with their anti-bonus round, right? Really important round, must-win round here for Sentinels. They have a slight gun advantage because Fnatic, do have a pretty good bonus here, but this is a must-win round, and they start off, and it's perfectly fine, right? We come out towards B, we destroy this turret on B here for Sentinels, the defensive killjoy turret. That's actually going to be pretty important later on in the round, as you will see. But then they're going to do this little fake smoke here. This has become quite popular, little smoke here out towards C that, kind of allows you to walk up here. And so early on in the round, we're doing absolutely fine, right? We've taken this control. We've taken this control. This is all perfectly good, right? We grab an ult up here for Zelsis as well. All perfectly fine stuff. Minute left on the clock, right? So we're coming down to a minute left. We're now coming back towards A. We're going to try and reclaim this space over towards A. We've left second towards C, which probably means that we're always probably going to end C here, considering we've left him. And we're just going to threaten to take the first part of A. Now, I would argue here that they don't really do enough, as you will see. Unfortunately for them, this one way comes back a bad time, you might say. They're going to throw out this little smoke here, and they're going to throw out the Prowler, but then the Omen Flash is going to push them back. Okay, so they, in my opinion here, they don't maybe do enough to actually push these players back, you know, off of A. And you see that because kind of Boaster and Durkee, you know, do stick around for the most part here over towards A. And now, obviously, time is dwindling, right? So time is dwindling, and now they're going to come back and do a C exec, right? But here's the problem. We didn't actually destroy any of this util on C. And because we, you know, didn't really we didn't threaten these guys too much here, we still have to get through the Viper Orb with a lot of fuel and also this Killjoy setup here. So we're doing a late C exec, you know, just praying that we can do this. And you'll see that the C exec here that they actually do, it feels like Zekken is kind of rushing it, right? He's in before any other utility, right? So he is just blessed back in. There is no other utility that is out, right? So already he's in some danger there, right? Maybe a bit fortunate that the Nano Swarms aren't there to hit him. Then in comes this, you know, the Haunt, and in comes the Omen Flash. Zekken actually he still has his nade and Boombot that he didn't even use earlier on, so he's having to use it now, right? But you see he's in a very vulnerable position. It's not looking very good here, right? Like if you just pause the map right here, there are 3 Fnatic players on the site. These Nano Swarms are stopping anyone from getting in. The Viper Orb is going to be up the whole time. Zekken's in on the site on his own and is vulnerable. Like, it does not look good, right? There's 24 seconds left. This is not good, right? This is not going to go well, and it doesn't go well, right? But here's the thing about Sentinels, and this is going to come up time and time again in a lot of these rounds we're going to watch, is that their main strength, the literal thing that makes them good, right? The thing that won them Masters Madrid, the thing that, you know, has carried them so much throughout this entire season. And some people often say, oh, it's the Sen plot armor. But the thing is, it's not plot armor, right? Plot armor isn't real. You know, and by calling it plot armor, you're taking away credit from what is actually the truth, which is Sentinels are the best team in the world. But that when things are going kind of, you know, not perfect, right? They're not going well. They have the players. Someone will step up and know when to take the right risk, the right timing to then allow them to win them that round.
His breath and waits. You can already see the curiosity starting to close down. It's Chronicle to take away 10s. Now Alpha retaking the space. Takes a lot of damage. Zekken strides in, but Hero on the trade. Spike with a quick pivot. Zelsis playing ahead. That's huge. Can he buy enough time? Can he buy enough security? He's desperately trying to readjust on the Spike plant. It should be fine on the time. A 3v2 out of nothing. Maybe Sentinels finding their footing here. Boaster and Hero working their way around CT.
They have a little bit to work with. That smoke, a Prowler.
Cover going out.
They repositioned, but still the crossfire from the front of the site and the blue door. If Hero goes all the way around and secures this flank, if Boaster makes enough pressure for it, it could be the difference maker.
Last player standing.
Zelsis puts an end to it.
Zelsis, this round was his. You gotta say it. His earlier positioning, catching the rotation back from C. He did everything right for the side, and you wanted a bit more from him. He gave us a whole lot.
So Boaster there is just going to save the Odin, and they end up winning the round. And you can call it plot armor, you can call it hero plays. I would call it a player knowing when they need to take a risk and making a great decision that wins them a round, and then playing it pretty much flawlessly from that point as well. Because at this point in the round, when we get to here, and as I was saying, like, they're in trouble here, right? It does not look good at this point in the map, right? Zekken realizes, oh, it doesn't look good here. So instead of being a late lurk, you know, hoping to win in the post plant, he decides, I need to go now and I need to make a play, right? And at this point, obviously, he doesn't know really what's going on over towards B at this point. He's just thinking, well, if there's a guy here watching me, I'm just going to need to kill him because we might need to just pivot back to B here, right? And so he goes, and normally you'd be like, oh, you're going quite early here. But as I said, he just recognizes we're in trouble here. I need to do something, right? And that is not a quality that every player has. Right, this is not something that everyone would do, right? But he makes a perfect choice here, and you know, I mean, Zekken, okay, he does actually manage to get a kill here on Alpha. This is not very good by Alpha considering his teammate has just seen this guy over here, but you know, he gets traded, so we're still in a 3v4. But this is a round-winning play, right? This is a I will win the round because I made a good decision. And the thing is, people will call it plot armor. I would say that this is because Sen just have the players that know what they're doing in these situations better than anyone else, and that allows them to do it. And it's interesting they're playing against Fnatic, who last year I would say were that team, right? Fnatic won a lot of these situations. It's funny it's happening here on Lotus as well, because I'm sure many of you can remember many situations where Fnatic would be the team that won rounds on Lotus that they had no business winning last year, right? And Fnatic, to me, have kind of lost some of that this season, and maybe that's the difference. Whereas they're playing against the team that I think this year, this season, has been, in my opinion, by far the best team at this in the world. And that's the thing I want the more deluded of you Sen fans to kind of realize, is that both things can be true, right? They can have what was a round that they very well might have lost there, right? Very losable round, and if they lose the bonus, you know, then they're in a lot of trouble, right? But they didn't. They managed to claw it out thanks to, you know, a really nice play by Zelsis and a really nice round by him, recognizing that, which again, not everyone would do and not everyone would have the chance to do, but they did have some bad rounds. And now I'm going to show you their worst round of the game, right? Which is a really ugly round. You know, it ends up as a really ugly round. I mean, we get into this position, 125 left on the clock. When I tell you that they're going to lose this round to time, you're going to think, what? How? Right? We're already in tree 15 seconds into the round. We get out this Omen Flash at this point. We're probably thinking we're in a good spot. Right, but they decide, oh, they don't like that. They get Omen Flash, they get pushed back somewhat out of tree, or Tens is going to decide to leave it on his own accord in just a second. And we don't like this, right? Even though Tens is in a pushed up spot, and we've had all 5 players committed towards here, right? Normally when everyone gets committed towards this, you know, normally we don't go back, but they're going to decide to go back, right? They don't like it. Tens actually destroys a Prowler there and now evacuates as he perhaps feels a little bit of heat, a little bit of pressure, gets on out of there, and now we're going to see some indecision. We're going to see, you know, you're going to see it right now, right? It looks like at this point we've just decided, okay, let's just go B, right? But they're going to come to B, and then they're going to be like, ooh, no, let's not go to B, and then Sassy's going to go to B, and now we're going to run a very bizarre round as well. What you're going to see in just a second is Sassy's going to try and fake as if they're doing a B exec. They're going to put an Omen Smoke. You see Tens is already pinging it there. You know, they're going to do this Prowler and Omen Smoke out towards B and try and fake a B hit. But then they're just going to come and put a lockdown here on C. Which, it doesn't make any sense, right? It just doesn't make any sense. We're in 2 different rounds completely. And yeah, again, late pivoting towards C. 37 seconds left. What we're going to see now is that Dirk is going to come across and destroy this lockdown. And it's not a very good round.
We easily convert this round. Yeah. Durka, he has a showstopper, and I've seen him run through smoke before. Is he going to do that again here to keep the pressure on? He's trying to get the paint shells off on the lockdown. He could cancel this. 23 seconds.
That might be enough. And now what do? Running low on time and running low on options. Durka going to be on defense. Trying to hold this down, hold the line, make him sweat. 10 seconds, where do you go? There's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. They try and play forward. But the man himself holds them back. 3 in the round. And all their chances run away with the clock.
And then we can come to the very next round. And Sentinels took a timeout after that last round that you just saw. And no surprise, right? Considering it wasn't very good. But now take a look at round 7, which is more cohesive, you might say. But again, isn't going to start that great.
And you picked attack. You better have picked attack for a reason. Early contact up B, 5 men, all in. They have that Viper's Pit. They can lock down one of the rotation points. And here they go, right in there.
Thought he might try and fly up towards CT there, but there were 2 waiting. Both trying to catch
way
on the backup, and it was...
Okay, so more cohesive, but not very good. Right, I mean, I don't love the call coming off a timeout, you know, just to do a straight B exec, but the way that they do it isn't very good either. Tens is going to make a pretty big mistake, in my opinion, which we'll see in just a second. I'm guessing that they're trying to play for this Viper's Pit, right? We're just playing for a Viper's Pit on B, which is a fairly common call. In we go here, right? So Prowler comes in here. You got the Omen Flash from Tens as well. We're going to smoke off this. I'll show you what Tens' mistake is in a second. So, I mean, one, we're going in, you know, before the smoke, so the timing isn't amazing here. But now, okay, that smoke has come down, but now Tens is worried about, you know, an Omen Flash just came out this way, and he's worried about these players over here. So he never actually puts down his second smoke, right? So you can see he has his second smoke here. He's not going to use it though, right? But this is like, you can't go to B with both of these unsmoked. That's just not. That's just not a thing, right? It's just not a thing that exists. It's just not a call that really exists. And okay, he gets spammed. You might say he's a bit unlucky there getting spammed. But then, I mean, these guys have an impossible job, right? Like Zekken, I mean, how do you fight this and this? And this is a smoke, right? It's not a Sage Wall. Someone can run out of here, right? And they don't know that they're not doing it, right? So it's just like impossible, almost impossible to win for these guys on site. But again, now, Sen are going to win this round. And this is the thing. No other team wins this round. No other team wins this round. Because no other team would do what Sen do next.
No way.
On the backup, but it was Alpha to get second there.
Waterfall
But they're taking a tour. Duck's
Yeah.
on 4 HP. Is he
There.
hearing this?
This could be a
yeah,
huge
he's
Viper's
pinging it
pistol.
out. He's pinging it out, but John QT catching the flank as well, trying to give them time. Time to run, time to make it to
There.
the side, but they know there's still going to be players here. There's got to be. They find Durka, they do, and he is damaged. He is
Boaster
dead.
again.
Surely, Boaster, the saving grace of Durka, who could do no more. Where does Boaster go now?
So there are not many teams that would think to do that. And of the few teams who would think to do that, there's maybe only one that can do it successfully, right? And that is the difference with Sentinels. The 3v5, we're trapped on B. What on earth are we going to do? We run this way, right? We run out through the back into spawn. And not only do we run out the back through to spawn, but the detail of this is quite nice as well. That I'm pretty sure that these two are like stomping, making noise here, right? They're running this way, but John isn't, right? John walks this way, whilst these two run this way, right? So we're making noise like we're going one way, and we catch Alpha being, you know, over enthusiastic, and John gets the kill from it, right? Really nice stuff. And look, you want chaos when you're in a disadvantaged situation, right? 3v5, you want chaos. Fnatic don't have any protocols for this. There are no protocols for this. This never happens, right? No one does this. This is not a round you've ever been in, right? So you're just having to react. And you'll see that maybe, you know, that cost them here, because Boaster, whilst he does well to get that kill now, even though he hears kind of people shooting back from this angle, he kind of just leaves Durka to die here, to be honest, considering the Prowlers hit him and, you know, Sen know that he's there. You know, he kind of just leaves him to die a bit, but okay, still 3v2, but again, watch how Sen play this, because they plant the spike, but instantly they go hunting for Boaster, right? Recognizing that this guy's probably on his own. If we can kill him, we're back in a 2v2. So even every part of this round, you see that they're constantly seeking back for that advantage, you know, and then we get the Viper's Pit, right? We decide, okay, we can't find this guy. You know, I'm not going to overextend to find this guy. I'm not going to put him in an advantage situation to win that fight, and then we lose because we've still got a Viper's Pit, which is still a big win con in this round. But even though the Viper's Pit isn't going to be the eventual win con in this round, you see how Sen just always are playing to their outs.
Forward Boaster tries to maybe catch him in that, doesn't get a connection.
Prowler and Haunt and a C's to follow as well. 1 HP on John QT and the Molly.
There's nowhere to run, there was nowhere to hide, but Saucy, this guy is legendary for a reason, and this might be a reminder. 2 in the round, he needs a third. Chronicle was the king of bind. It doesn't matter now. Saucy saving Sentinels this round.
And look, call it hero plays all you want, but again, it happens so consistently that at some point you just have to accept that they know what they're doing, right? And the fatal here as well towards CT, this is actually a big detail in this round, right? This probably isn't winnable unless he does this, because they know that Boaster is out here, right? We know that this guy's here, but this means that the other two must be here, right? If that fatal isn't hitting them at this point in the round. So we know where they're all coming from. And so obviously the Fade Haunt hits them at a great timing from Sassy on this, but now he knows one guy here, one guy there, right? Maybe Boaster makes a slight mistake by not TPing here, right? He does have a TP left, just to at least threaten that he could be coming, you know, he's already here. Even if he fakes it, right? Even if he fakes it and it's still here, just the threat of it, right? Just the threat that I could be somewhere else, you know, I'm making you have to think about multiple angles. Probably a little bit mistake by Boaster there, but, you know, just really well played by Sassy again. And yeah, again, you can talk about it all you want, but at some point, they know what they're doing, and they play to their outs better than anyone else. And then finally, let's finish with round number 9, which is, again, gonna be an example of Sentinels playing to their outs. Now, I think that their overall call here is better, just that their execution in this round isn't very good at the start of it. But you see here, we miss a Fade Haunt, you know, not great. But you'll see that kind of happens later on as well. But I think their actual plan in this round, the kind of round that they end up in, is perfectly fine. So this time we put this Viper up to continuously pressure this towards A. Our round just feels a bit more coherent here, where we're putting this one way on C. So we know we're taking early C control, but we want to continuously threaten that we could be taking A with this Viper orb here. Obviously we can't pick it up these days, so this is a bit more rare, but I think it makes more sense for the round that they've called. And this time they're gonna just walk in towards C. Right, we're gonna just contact in towards C just here. And you'll see that when we get to this point, okay, you know, we know where this alarm bot is. We feel like, you know, we have a timing to go. You know, they don't realize that we're so far pushed up. So in goes the smoke, and now we're going to come in. There's just going to be one slight problem, which is that Zekken kind of misses his satchel.
No fear from Zekken. Now, the fear of God put in by Chronicle, but he's going to be caught here. Does he get punished on this? No. Actually, an opportunity.
So again, we have a slight execution malfunction, let's say, there from Zekken, and it costs us a kill there. We're in a 5v4, and even worse, now there's a Viper's Pit here on the site as well. And this is obviously a very tough position to play from. And Sen, again, this is a weird one where there is no protocols for this. Sassy feels like he can't plant the spike, so he just starts tapping. And actually, we've got one guy who's out, you know, of C. And you're going to see, though, again, Sen here, they're going to play to multiple outs. Right, so we keep tapping the spike here, but now we give the spike to TenZ, right? So they were thinking here, well, we don't like this Viper's Pit, right? We don't want any part of this. This is not a post plant that we can play with this pit up here, right? So we don't want any part of it. So I'm giving the spike to TenZ because TenZ has his Omen ult, right? So at this point in the round, they were probably thinking, TenZ, go and ult to A, hope that no one's there. You see that John is kind of making his way already across here as well. Hope that no one is there by this point because we've tapped the spike multiple times. Go to A, and we'll just play the round from there, right? And hopefully no one's there, because if they are, we're kind of screwed, right? But again, we're just playing to our outs, because we're screwed if we stay here on C. So, you know, we might as well, you know, take a gamble, take a risk, hope that no one's on A. We get the spike down, we have a chance, right? But then something else happens. Turns out the Chronicle has been, you know, retreated from this pit, and the pit goes down. So then they're like, oh, well, now we can play a post plant on C. Right, so now we come back and we're like, okay, we can play this post plant now, right? We don't have to TP, and we decide, yeah, let's plant. You know, let's play this 4v5 and let's just plant the spike and go for it, right? And so again, you see how quickly they adapt to kind of, you know, the changing environment around them, which in Valorant is a very important thing. And again, just playing to those multiple outs. And now again, you'll see another situation come up that again they're going to play to their outs.
They don't. TenZ looking to get active, looking to get involved, takes away Hero, knows about Chronicle, the Prowler to the left, but the paranoia sends him away. Oh, but TenZ, he won't fall! He stands his ground and he takes down another! And now down to Chron and Alpha, trying to play it back through, and now all down to Chronicle. He's in trouble. And you can see why, TenZ reigning supreme on the site!
So again, every situation that we see there, every decision that TenZ and then the rest of the team kind of make as well, is tailor-made to, like, what's the best chance we have of winning this round? And he does it, right? I'm going to isolate this angle and hope that I can hit this shot, right? If I don't hit this shot, maybe we lose. Sure. But if I do, now we're right back in it, right? Now it's a 4v4. So I'm going to isolate this angle, get out, you know, then try again. Oh, you want to test me again? Go on, test me again, right? Then this comes out, we have to retreat. Okay, maybe that's a bit crazy, but again, the reaction by TenZ is crazy good. Right, it's a crazy good reaction to, you know, have the mind to pull out your shorty that fast, jump around and get that kill, right? Then the lockdown comes in, okay, 3v3 now, right? But we're fighting as a team, right? Okay, now it was a 3v3, now it's a 2v2, but now we're fighting as a team here, right? We need to fight this, okay? We get into a 2v1, right? So now we get into a 2v1, we see him, and John's like, okay, well, now I can just play off site here. And TenZ decides, well, I'm kind of stuck, so I have to just stick with this, right? I can't get out. There's no way for me to escape, you know? And so he's just going to play it, gets the kill on him, and we're constantly playing to our outs. And this is the thing, right? I've just shown you a myriad of rounds there where the start of the round, for whatever reason, didn't go that great for Sen, right? And the thing is, most of the teams playing that against Fnatic, a team as good as Fnatic, they lose 9-3. Right? They get destroyed by Fnatic on this Lotus, being in that many, you know, bad situations essentially, but not the Sentinels, right? And this is the thing. That's the difference. That when it works for them and it goes well like that, they're almost impossible to beat, to be honest, because you get them in a 3v5 and it doesn't matter, right? Because they'll find some way to wriggle out of it and win anyway.